Hello everyone, welcome to another tarot reading. We're gonna do today a little reading on self-love because it's been a while since the last one, and with this Valentine's Day season we just gotta bring it in. I hope everyone had a good Valentine's Day yesterday. If you did something very interesting, let me know. I got myself some ice cream and then did my nails, and that was nice. I also rested a lot because I was exhausted. But at least yesterday we had some sun. I saw the sun again after almost 3 weeks of nothing. So yeah, let's go and see what the cards have to say for you today around your self-love. Okay, we're starting off with the 10 of Cups and then the 4 of Pentacles. That is super interesting. Okay, so we have happiness and alignment, and then the 4 of Pentacles. Good. Good. That means stability. That means using the inner resource. Well, no, your resources basically. Good. I was confused with the Page of Pentacles, which is inner resources, like how you're feeling. But the 4 of Pentacles is literally using the resources at hand. So it could be self-help books, self-love centered especially, affirmations, whatever it is, you feel stable. And for those that have a little bit of some issue where you feel like it could be a little bit more, guys, check the comment section for my self-love subliminal. And also, I'm planning out something cool for next week, so keep an eye open for that. But yeah, we have the High Priestess and then the 7 of Cups right next to each other. I love this energy. You're literally, okay, so you got a massive self-love, self-worth in general as well, glow up, upgrade. Whatever happened, it really like pushed it. And right now the energy that you're in is the High Priestess, and chasing, going after your dreams with no, I wanted to say repercussions, but that's not the word. It's just with like nothing hindering you, where you're just like, let's go. Like, I'm also feeling very pumped, which is very funny because I was just on the couch watching a little bit of some TikTok videos and I was sleepy, and I was like, ugh. And now I feel energized, like literally as if I just downed a whole freaking not bottle energy, and I haven't drank a full alu thingy. I don't know right now what it's called in English, of energy. Like, I feel pumped. I feel also ready. This might be for you guys what's gonna shift with the solar eclipse. It feels very like fresh energy, like very sunny and warm and bubbly and all that. So you might have an Aquarius sun. Oh, we have the 2 of Wands and Death. Yeah, okay, so this is literally a new transformation coming up. You might feel it creeping up, like that renewed sense of self-love. But you can actually support and prepare yourself for it. The death and transformation. You might feel a little bit of some loss, like I feel in limbo a little bit. I feel like a part of me is missing. That's you honoring and mourning maybe the version of you that didn't accept a lot of things, or like you're saying goodbye to a very close and dear friend in a way. That's the energy right now. So you can prepare for that. Journal. Maybe even write a goodbye letter to the old self, the one that wasn't as confident in themselves, that didn't love themselves as much as you're gonna do it like right now. It's definitely the Death card here literally represents death in this case, which is okay. That part of you is done. The chapter came to an end. The cycle is finally closing there. We have the 5 of Wands. Yeah, if you feel any conflict right now, where you feel a little bit, oh, this doesn't feel right, talk to someone. Talk to your bestie. Talk maybe even, if you want to go very deep, if you're ready for like extreme deep healing, I highly recommend laying down and visualizing the new you that's becoming and the old you standing in front of each other. And literally, you know, kind of like the letter that I just said, write a letter, say it to that version of you in that moment directly. It's going to be insane. You might cry. So I'm just saying, do it with your free will if you're ready. Okay, I'm not pushing it onto you, but if you really, really want to close it and just embrace the new chapter, definitely do it. Then we have the Six of Wands. So there's a lot of progress, a lot of shifts coming right now. So you do have to prepare yourself. A lot of people are always like, oh, I want change, and I want change, and then the change happens and they are in the middle of the change, but they don't take time to regulate the nervous system, to stay calm, to process any emotions that are happening right now. So journaling, EFT tapping, whatever it is, they just don't take the time to be grounded in the present moment, and that's when you get kind of like swept up in the moment and the chaos ish, you know. That's why it's so important, like, what's the preparation that you're gonna do? And I feel like this self-love ties a little bit into the solar eclipse, so you have a couple of days to prepare yourself. I personally am going to look how this solar eclipse is going to affect me, because I have Aquarius in my first house, and I think, if I remember correctly, it's Uranus. So like, I'm definitely going to be feeling that. So I'm going to do maybe a little Reiki session for that tomorrow or something, or maybe like on eclipse day itself, I don't know. But like, the way you go about it is very, very important. Oh, we have a lot of cards right now. We have the Moon in reverse and then the Hanged Man in reverse. So this preparation is necessary, because at the state that you are right now in, there's stuff trying to come up from the subconscious, but you're not letting it go. You're kind of feeling blocked. The Empress energy in reverse, which is the feminine energy. Lack of touch with your emotions, or like receptivity in a way as well. So the feminine energy is all about emotions and nurturing energy and all that. You need to bring that nurturing energy for yourself. And I am hearing in a way that you are underestimating how powerful it is if you nurture yourself. I don't know, I've never said that in a reading of mine, so it must be very significant for someone of you. But like, you have to nurture yourself, if not on a day-to-day basis, at least on like a weekly basis. Start out with like once a week, whatever that means for you. I don't know, it's just very, I feel like this is for one specific person here. We have the Two of Swords and then the Page of Pentacles. Two of Swords could represent here literally choosing between two paths. And then the Page of Pentacles is opportunity here. The opportunity to just finally move on. To just not repeat that cycle of pushing things away. Of not committing to yourself, not hearing yourself out about your emotions. This reading is very emotions based, so I feel like you really need to do some exercises where you just, when you feel a specific thing, don't just be like, oh, acknowledge it, name it, let it pass through the body. So also right now I feel like a pressure on like my hips, so you could have a lot of emotions literally stuck in your hips, as well as trauma, especially if you're a woman. So hip opening exercises, pigeon pose, or a child's pose could also help, but I don't really find that one extremely hip opening, to be honest. Or a frog pose, a lunge, anything that just literally you notice it in your hips. When I started doing pigeon poses, and if you hold them very long, try to hold them as long as possible, you will feel the difference. Like literally you will tear up. You will feel whatever is energetically in your body is just like, it kind of like feels like a big exhale in a way. So definitely do that. We have the 9 of Pentacles. You're gonna be very grateful about this new energy, this new chapter. I also heard like environment for some reason, so maybe this will inspire like you moving. I just also saw like an image of a, not necessarily a country house, but you're definitely living not in a, okay, let's see if I can say this correctly in English. It's not a suburban, 11:11 on the timer, area where there's just like a lot of houses. It's a little bit more, here's a house and the next house a little bit farther away, so kind of like everyone has their little space, their little piece. Maybe that's like your ideal living situation, and you really want that. And it's fair to say you really want that because you would thrive in that. We have spiritual healer. It's part of your life purpose. Healing and spirituality, like to teach those topics. And maybe you've been feeling the pull towards it, but I'm hearing there's so many already that do that. But there's no one with your specific energy. There's no one with your unique touch, your personality. There are people that are literally waiting for someone like you to make content, to have a blog or whatever it is that you feel more pulled towards. They're literally waiting for you. Then we have healing and also healer. Again, like you're supposed to be a healer. You're supposed to bring healing to a community. Could be Reiki, could be any other energy healing, or could be a mentor in general. Like I'm hearing you have so much wisdom to pass along. Basically, you could have very heavy 11th house and 12th house placements. I'm seeing like Scorpio, Cancers, Aries, and Geminis. Also, moon sign, very specifically, your moon sign is in either the 11th house or the 12th house. I want to see it in the comment section. If you know your birth chart placements, let me know, because it's always interesting to channel directly the right person. But yeah, moon sign, but also Neptune in those house placements. Neptune is very mystic, it's very deep, it's very alluring in a way as well, and that's what's gonna make you stand out, like that alluring energy. Then we have everything is okay. So also everything works out in your favor. Don't overthink it too much. And again, she also like the hands, like this is, you're such a healer. And even if you never thought about becoming a healer, just your presence in general is healing. Even if you never decide to go down that road, it just can't be helped. Your presence invites healing. And it's very crazy because I've always, sometimes I get annoyed when people automatically come with problems to me. And that's, I guess, a life lesson for me to just set boundaries and all that. But people just tend to always tell me their problems and all that. I'm like, do I give like therapist vibes? Like, what exactly about me is it that makes people just instantly open up and wanting to tell me their life story? And in this case, wounded people tend to overshare and trauma dump because they want to be seen. And I'm like, what exactly is it in my birth chart that is inviting that? But in this case, for me, it's like literally the lesson to set boundaries. I do listen and like to help people, but when it's just constantly always just problems, I'm like, I have to be like, sorry, like I like to be an open ear, because obviously when I have issues I want people to listen to me too, but when it's just too much, it's too much. And that's my lesson. But maybe you have that too, where you also have to be able to set certain boundaries. Let's see what the priestesses have to say. Quite a lot apparently. We have, you're a student of Lady Nada. She teaches God-like love, like expressing God-like love, to dance and sing, and also just be more in the present moment. Like, don't be too stuck about like, oh, what might happen. Just like, it is what it is type of energy. This is the card, very beautiful, lots of pink. So maybe some of you are kind of like reclaiming your feminine energy. And I don't know, I'm gonna speak here from experience, like personal experience, but it will resonate because I've seen a lot of people as well, where I used to be a tomboy my whole life. I kind of like, in a way, wanted to reject anything feminine, especially pink, the color pink. There was a time where I did not want to wear any pink at all. I never really did. But when my mom did get like a couple of clothing pieces, I was like, ugh. And yeah, I was just more, a little bit more on my tomboy side growing up. And then even more during my adolescence, where I literally cut off all my hair into like almost a Justin Bieber haircut when he started, right? And yeah, I looked like a boy. And then during the pandemic, like that's when when I started my healing journey and doing shadow work and all that, that's when my feminine energy started awakening like crazy. And then all of a sudden I was just so entranced by princess core, royal core, and all those things. And I just wanted to own dresses. I was also never a dress person then in my teenage years. Skirts, kind of like a dress. No, absolutely not. And then it switched. I wanted to own dresses, skirts. And all of a sudden I was so obsessed with the color pink. And I hear a lot of women go through that as well, that they kind of like reclaimed the color pink. They started to love it again. And you might be in the same situation. Then we have here, even with or through the power of the Tower, stay a free woman. So this is basically saying, like, no matter what your environment is, do not feel like you have to fit in. Maybe you have moments where you don't feel free completely, or that, you know, you are the weird one, the one that stands out and all those things. Don't let that stop you. Be a free woman. You might have Sagittarius placements, that tiny little rebellious energy where you just want to be free. Same as Leo in Lilith, 8th house placements, and I speak from experience because I have that placement, where you just want to be free. There's nothing worse than being forced into a box. Even quite literally, where you just have to contain yourself. And emotionally especially, I guess. It's just, you want to be free. You just want to be wild, free, break out of the system, not do the same thing everyone else is doing. And then it says, try to resist all temptations and illusions. Could be here people projecting their limiting beliefs, or in how society wants us to live like, especially women. And speaking of that, it's very interesting because I started to do things a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm on a dating app and I got fed up a little bit at the options, and I was like, I can't be talking to men anymore. And after a week, when I asked them, before they ask, or when they ask me out, I have to ask them, like, what's your opinion on like 50-50 and provider men and all those things. And that's when it just goes downhill. I was like, you know what, I need to ask that from the beginning. So I made like a little list of telling them this is what I won't accept, this is what I'm looking for, and I sent that right away. And at first I felt weird because I was like, oh, this is so unconventional. Like, it's not really what society accepts, or like in this case, you know, it's weird when you come off strong like that from the beginning, right? Especially me, that's very into like feminine energy and all that. But I was like, you know, but it's such a waste of time and I can't waste my time anymore. Well, that sounds very wrong, but I hope you get what I mean, where it's just like, you know, if it doesn't work out from the beginning, you might as well just make it clear in that moment. So I did that, and the response has been very interesting. The response has been very receiving and receptive, and I was like, what? And I think this is also here, like, we have been so conditioned and brainwashed to think like life should be lived a certain way. So what if you break one of the rules? What if like something that isn't considered appropriate and you do that? Like, the response is crazy. Like, you will never know like what your reality reflects. And I feel like that also shifts you timeline wise. I don't know, maybe I'm oversharing here a little bit, but it might help someone. Then, oh my god, this is this is so good for the Lilith energy. Anytime, try to be nice to the monster within you, to your shadow self, the one that tries to protect you. The Lilith in the birth chart is basically in a way also the shadow self. It's like your most deepest, darkest self, basically. And depending what placement that you have, it's gonna say a lot about what it means for you. So go ahead in your birth chart and look at it. But this is basically also saying like, embrace your Lilith sign, because here's the thing. I feel like this is very female oriented, this reading, I don't know, but you know, by accepting the darkest side of you, it makes it easier to embrace the light one, if that makes sense. Let me know in the comment section. So it's not like those sides are constantly fighting for existence. You can have both work, like kind of like yin and yang as well, right? Where you need both. So don't only heal the light version, but also heal the dark version, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, oh my god. I hope this reading gave you the clarity that you needed. How about we use a moon sign, like the moon, like the crescent moon, and then as an affirmation, we had in the previous one, I accept all parts of myself. So should it be along those lines? No, actually, because it's the moon, how about this? I don't have to hide anymore. Simple, but also at the same time so powerful. So powerful. I don't know. I feel getting goosebumps and shivers. I hope this reading gave you the clarity that you needed. And yeah, let's see what the solar eclipse in your self-love journey is gonna bring. I'm super excited to read all about it. So yeah, if something major happens, come back to this video and comment. I would love to read about that experience. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next reading. Until then, bye bye.